I found out the other day that the average human says about 6,000 words per day on average. And for context, that's quite a mild estimate. But my question is this: how often do you think that the words you actually say actually impact people? Of course, it's impossible to go back entirely and revisit every single word we've ever said, but it is time that we address the elephant in the room about something. There's really no better way I can ask this, but how do you think it feels for disabled people when they hear the r-slur? Obviously, not everyone can relate to being disabled, but for starters, to begin with, it's not just like any other word in existence. It was initially used as a clinical term in the 20th century to describe disabled people. But this is where I must debunk the logic and around one of the main excuses people often use to use this word. What does every time you hear this word these days have in common? It's always used to describe something or someone as stupid or as a moron. And to make what I said earlier more clear, I have a disability. I'm autistic. And do you really think when we hear things like that, we can't make the connection of what you actually mean when you say the R slur? We see completely through you and we know exactly what you mean, and you have no even, and I'm sure you have no even remote idea of how it actually feels. It's a feeling that's honestly quite hard to describe, but if I have to find any word of how it actually feels, it's dehumanizing. And you can sit there and tell me all day that I'm exaggerating, but my friend, you really have no right to speak for people like me, especially people you'll never even know and on something you'll never relate to as long as you live. And in that case, maybe you're the problem. For starters, having a disability to begin with is already difficult as heck. No one is playing victim here or choosing to be offended by saying that. Of course, we all experience things differently, and by no means am I trying to sit here and speak for people I don't even know. But I do want to just say this to, like, in some way stand up for the disabled community. But what I will tell you is this: the disabled community in the past has gone through a lot more than you think.